Now, despite all of the steps, consumers seem to be using this machine. For more on all this, I'm joined by Keith Wallace, director and founder of the Wine School of Philadelphia. Hello, Keith.
Hi, Alex. It's great to be here.
I'm glad you're here. Can we explain all this? You look into a camera, you blow into a breath sensor, and then this can dispense bottles of wine.
For everyone who doesn't live in Pennsylvania, you can only buy wine through a state agency here. There's no free market. So these are the first time that any citizen in Pennsylvania has been able to buy wine in a grocery store, which is fantastic.
I'm curious what kind of wine you can buy on here. I mean, you're not going to go try and get some Chateau Lafite here, I mean, on this, right?
Oh, no. These are just very, very generic, big brand labels, you know, things that cost $8 to $15 a bottle that you can pretty much buy in the rest of the country in a grocery store, or, in a pharmacy.
So Keith, it's kind of like you go to the grocery store, you're picking up a nice steak or some good fish or something, you're going to grill, and then you're like, oh, I got to get some wine. Is that who it's targeted?
It is. It really is. It's supposed to be convenient, but unfortunately, there's so much Big Brother layers to this that it really is not convenient at all.
Okay,
it's easier.
You anticipated my next question because the Big Brother nature of it. I know there are some people that are enjoying this because of the convenience. It's one-stop shopping in places that previously they couldn't get wine, to buy. But there are others who say this is a good deal because of the convenience. The Big Brother facet, though, is that going to keep this from expanding beyond just this test phase?
Yeah, it is. It's a significant problem. It's my primary concern, is that's what I deal with as consumer rights. The problem is that breathalyzer and that video link to the state that's admissible in court of law, so that you now have a public record that you wouldn't have if you just went to a store and bought a bottle of wine. The other issue is that they're not run by the state. They're actually run by a third party who doesn't get a single dollar from the state to run these. The only profit that they can make is from advertising and from using that data. I am not convinced it's a good idea.
But Keith, let's say that you're denied the ability to purchase this wine. Is there evidence that this statistics that you had a breathalyzer fail, is that being kept on record?
Yes, absolutely. By law, it has to. And mind you, the breathalyzer is set to 0.02 alcohol, which is basically if you gargle with Listerine first thing in the morning, you will fail that breathalyzer test.
Really?
Yes.
Well, do you think there are plans to get the breathalyzer, I guess, amended somewhat so it's a little more reasonable before being able to dispense the wine?
Unfortunately not. It's state law that you cannot have alcohol level any more than 0.02 to buy a bottle of wine. So unfortunately, this will not change.
It is interesting. I'm curious to see how far this goes. So we're going to be watching that. And Keith Wallace, meantime, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much, Alex.
Not necessarily.
So I'm not alone in that. But those researchers probably would not be able to pull the wool over the eyes of our next guests. They are Keith Wallace and Maria Valletta of the Wine School of Philadelphia and Philly Uncorked, a wine show on Philly.com.
And now they have a tough task. I mean, I think it might be easy to pair wine with exotic foods, but we're talking Philadelphia's typical fare, like pretzels and fried chicken and cheesesteaks.
And chocolate.
And chocolate, yeah, Philly's finest here. And let's start off, Maria, pretzels.
Actually, well, the Philadelphia pretzel is to Philadelphia what I think French bread is to France.
I agree.
I mean, that's your casual nosh food. You think picnics, you think outdoor fun, and what do the French drink with their French bread? They drink Beaujolais. So we're pairing the Louis Jadot Beaujolais with the pretzels because we feel that the saltiness needs some acidity. You've got the flavor of the wine. It's very flavorful, but it's light and fruity. That's it right there.
And the Beaujolais, that's not your typical wine. That comes out at a certain time every year, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Actually, well, this Beaujolais is you can get this any time of the year.
Okay.
So the Beaujolais Village is available at any time, around $10. It's a fabulous buy. You don't have to get the Nouveau at all.
It smells so wonderful. And I'm not a red wine drinker, but it smells like it tastes really good.
There's a lot of fruit in there, and that's gonna, bring up the...
And why the Jadot versus another Beaujolais?
Well, because one, it's very consistent. It's very good. You walk in, regardless of vintage, you're going to have a nice bottle of wine. It's actually, and it's very soft. And so for people who don't tend to drink a lot of red wine, this is a really, really good match. It's not very bitter at all. So that's really lovely.
Starting point.
And it has to stand up to the salt and possibly some mustard as well.
I tend to knock off a little bit of the salt off of mine because the salt can throw it off a little bit, but it's really great pairing.
What do you think, Lori? Are you craving a pretzel right now?
Oh my gosh, I am. Let me add it.